And joining us now here as we continue our conversations from Trade Talk in Kansas City and the NAFB Convention, Mike Stranz, Vice President of Advocacy with the National Farmers Union. Mike, it's good to see you. How are you?
Doing well, Jesse. How about you?
Doing good, doing good. Appreciate a few minutes of time as we know this can be a very busy day here at NAFB. A lot of conversations had with broadcasters from across the country, but good to catch up with you. Let's talk about things. And I think just for starters, shutdown's over. That's a good thing. We're getting back to some regular order, I would say. Your perspective on that, being in D.C., is we're getting government reopened, and now we can maybe move forward a bit on some things.
That's right. The shutdown certainly had a lot of bad effects across the country, whether it was on office closures for the Farm Service Agency there for a while, or if it was slowing down program implementation, certainly on SNAP and things like that, and let alone air traffic and all that stuff, TSA, all that. A lot of bad effects. But from a political and policy process point of view, having the shutdown resolved untangles a few of these issues that had been all bound up in the shutdown. And one of those things is moving forward on trade assistance. The administration has talked a lot about the need for, and rightly so, the need for farmers to have some assistance because of the uncertainties surrounding trade and the resulting price declines in the commodity markets. So we need to see some assistance there. And then the other part is moving forward on some sort of Farm Bill 2.0.
Yeah.
Because the reconciliation bill that passed back in July included some important improvements to some of the farm safety net programs, but not all of them, and also had some significant cuts to SNAP that really hurt the political viability, I guess, of the Farm Bill coalition. So hopefully, now that the shutdown is resolved, we can move forward on getting some of those bills done, untangling more of those issues so that we can have a stronger farm policy in the year ahead.
I think it was important that we did get the fiscal year ag appropriations through with the reopen of government. So
Absolutely.
That's some certainty there. But, now that talk about Farm Bill 2.0, okay, is this going to be a early spring type of conversation? Any rumblings you're hearing from either G.T. Thompson's office or John Bozeman? I mean, any word on the ground in D.C. on what this could look like?
Yeah, there's some hope for early 2026, but at the same time, I think one thing that makes Congress get stuff done is having a deadline and having a hammer there, so to speak. And that's what the Farm Bill deadlines usually provide, is that if you don't take action, Congress, there's going to be some ill effects as a result. And by having the Farm Bill extended till the end of September 2026, that pushes the deadline back quite a bit. But it's possible, and it can happen, to get something done here in early 2026. The other part, of course, is with midterms coming up in November of 2026. Oftentimes, legislating kind of winds down by summertime. So the window may be narrow, but there is a window.
I think as well, now that government's back open, we're obviously following trade policy and all those sorts of things. But even too, Congress is really starting to take a look at some of the competitiveness issues in ag and the cost of inputs and just the cost of everything impacting farmers and ranchers. And I know that's something that NFU is watching very closely as well, Mike.
Absolutely. And that's been encouraging, because one of the things we should learn from bad market conditions is that there's some reasons why we're here. And one of those reasons is a highly consolidated, uncompetitive market for so many sectors in agriculture. President Trump rightly noted a couple of weeks ago now in a Truth Social post about the need to look into the meatpacking sector, and noted that there's only four major meat packers out there that process the vast majority of beef out there, and there ought to be an investigation about that. There have been investigations. We're glad to see additional emphasis placed on that here too. So hopefully that yields some further results and gets beyond the investigation stage to put some better competition laws into place, whether it's on the Packers and Stockyards Act, whether it's on issues related to input costs. There's a lot of issues that need to be investigated.
On the meatpacking piece, this has renewed the conversation about, okay, mandatory country of origin labeling, or, can we get by with a voluntary labeling system, or whatever the case is? And I know that that's a divisive issue across agriculture as a whole, across the beef industry and more. So, I mean, your perspective on that, what's NFU's view on some of that side of this equation?
Well, also in the wake of the Argentina beef issue that's come up over the last month or so, and how the additional imports from Argentina of beef will have some of an impact on the market, but it's relatively small. The more important part is that if we're going to be importing more beef, we should allow consumers to know where it comes from. And having mandatory country of origin labeling in place gives a real clear indication to farmers that we're going to make sure that American farmers and ranchers have the respect and ability for consumers to choose them. And it's also picking up political steam too, mandatory country of origin labeling. Just in the last couple of weeks, we've seen new legislation from Congresswoman Harriet Hageman from Wyoming bringing that forward. So I see some real positives there, and hopefully that continues to pick up steam here as we head into 2026.
Anything else that you're watching closely at NFU as we close out this year and get ready for 26, Mike?
Sure. Well, I think one important part here is taking action for individual Farmers Union members, our neighbors and friends. Being part of an organization like Farmers Union helps a lot. We're in our state convention season right now, where ideas about what our policy priorities ought to be are being suggested, debated, amended, and adopted. And that helps shape our action for the year ahead. So this is a great time to get involved.
NFU's website online, I know, a great place to start to get more, right, Mike?
Absolutely. NFU.org, or find us anywhere on social media. We've got some action alerts up right now if you want to pitch in your support for country of origin labeling or the importance of well-structured trade assistance.
NFU.org for more. Vice President of Advocacy with the National Farmers Union, Mike Stranz. Good to talk with you, sir. Safe travels back home to D.C., and we'll catch up again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jesse.